praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom. This is y&ymission. I like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. y&ymission teaches the 100% truth doctrine as Great Millstone, GMS. And I want to talk about that whore, okay? Who is that whore, okay? Babylon the Great, okay? So I'll be reading from the NIV, all right? Okay, and then we're going to start, I'm going to just go right into it. Revelations 17 and 1, all right? That's where we're going to start, because we know ultimately through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Babylon the Great, America, is that whore, okay? Mystery Babylon, okay? So that's where we're going to be reading at. This place is being brought down gradually, slowly but surely. It's a lot of things that's going on, okay? You know, I'm going through certain things too, everything, but the Lord is with me. The Heavenly Father is with me. I know He is, okay? And Yahushua is with me, okay? And plus Yahushua is on the way. You have news, space images being released of Yahushua's chariot, or possible reconnaissance chariot, and different things like that going on in the heavens. So we're seeing the signs. We're at the last few seconds of this place, okay? And anything is bound to pop off from now to December. Anything crazy, okay? And then you also have a lot of people having dreams, okay? Dreams of the destruction, chaos ensuing in Babylon the Great, okay? The dreams are becoming more and more constant, okay? The Heavenly Father is pouring His Spirit out on all flesh, okay? So these are just the ones that people are bringing to the forefront. But just imagine how many more people are having dreams that aren't putting it out there or aren't discussing it, okay? So, but it all has to do and deal with who? The Babylon the Great, okay? The whore, okay? All right, 17 and 1, all right? Revelations, okay? One of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute," right, okay? Punishment, Babylon the Great, all right? She's gonna be punished. Who sits by many waters, right? Sits by Pacific. What does she got now? The Gulf of Texas or Gulf of Mexico, okay? Then you got the Atlantic, okay? You know, and her different territories, okay? So it says, with her the kings of the earth committed adultery, right? The kings of the earth. That's these different leaders, okay? Iran was in bed with Babylon the Great, Saudi Arabia, okay? All these Japan, okay, China, all these different places, okay, all these different different nations, okay, that are now either somewhat allied or against Babylon the Great, okay. We'll say, with her the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries, right? And Babylon the Great, okay, starting out of California and New York, have made all the nations intoxicated with their beliefs, okay, their different culture, way of life, okay. It started in everywhere, Japan, okay, it's all over, even China, okay. China just looks like a Chinese version of somewhat America, like how they built their cities, or Western or European philosophy of how they building and their architecture and stuff, okay, the modern China, okay. With her the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adultery. You got these different countries want to rap, okay. You got UK over there, they want to have drill, okay. You got different you know, Africa, these African nations, Nigeria and stuff, they want Babylon, you know, they drinking out Babylon juice and want that to be part of their nation and everything. So this whore, okay, has made these other nations drunken with her philosophy, her way of thinking, her way of doing things, okay? Starting with America, okay? Specifically in America, California, Los Angeles, and New York, okay? So these two places, because you can go in anywhere in the world and find some busted ass clothes, or find a person of another nation wearing "I love New York," or dressing like they're from LA or something, okay? In and any of these other continents, okay? You'll see a "I love New York" shirt on, you know, Migo or Ham or some Arabs, okay, wearing that shit, okay? Crazy. Adidas, Nikes, all right? So with her, the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. Okay. Then the angel carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with blasphemous names and had 7 heads and 10 horns. Right, that's the EU. Okay, riding that bitch. All right, or that bitch riding EU. All right, but you see now that relationship, that whore is losing control of that beast that she's sitting on. Okay, NATO. Okay, it's a lot. Russia just did a lightning raid, and they captured 2 British high-ranking officials, or NATO. That's part of the beast, UK. All right, so America the Great. Okay, Babylon, that whore, she's about to be thrown off that beast. Okay, she's about to be thrown off. All right, and that's what we're seeing right now. All right. Then an angel carried me away and said, Spirit, there I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with blasphemous names. It had 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittering with gold. Okay, that's America. Precious stones and pearls, right? That's what this place is. A representation of consumerism, just buying and taking, okay, and not producing anything. Not producing of anything useful to the rest of the world. The rest of the world has basically passed Babylon the Great. Okay, this whore, and as far as her, you know, as far as intelligence, you know, problem-solving skills, you know, children testing and whatnot. Okay, because this beast, I mean, this whore, all she wants to do is look good, and that's an analogy playing on how the women are in Babylon. All they want to do is look good, wear Lululemon, okay, go out, perpetrate, stunt, get Starbucks, show their ass, wear decked out bracelets and jewelry and different things like that. Okay, color contact lenses. Okay, this is what this whore has produced, okay, with her own people and the inhabitants around the world. They want to dress like Americans, want to be like Americans, want to listen to American music, okay? But now everybody's getting to the bottom of that cup, okay, that she has passed around, and now it's starting to become bitter, okay? The stuff, the ingredients, okay, isn't starting to taste as good as it was when they had that chaser, all right? All right, so she had a golden cup in her hand filled with abominable things, right? Abominable things, that's death, okay? That's murder, mayhem, confusion, LGBTQ. They try to push that off in the African nations, okay? It's already everywhere in the West, okay? Russia hates it, okay? The East, the Far East hates it, okay? You got it in Japan, certain areas, okay? And they're not tolerating that mess in Moab, China. Okay, so you know, Babylon the Great has okay, she had a golden cup in her hand and filled it with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries, right? Okay, being in bed with this leader, okay, and being in bed with that leader, so they can ultimately come against another leader, and then she could take those other 2 remaining leaders out, you know, stuff like that. All right, and that's what it's about. Going in this Edomite cannot sit home. He cannot stay home and stay out of other people's business. He has to what? He has to be in everybody else's business, everybody else's land, okay? Taking control of resources, okay? Making deals, breaking contracts, okay? That's what he does. He doesn't follow his own rules, but he expects everybody to follow his rules, and he changes the rules in the middle of the game every time. Okay, you heard with Russia, with the thing with Russia. Those are Edomites too. The devil and the devil know each other. Okay, so Trump could have been bluffing. Okay, he put his hand out there talking shit, but we do know through the spirit power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Ba'ashem Yahushua, it has been made known that there are different subs and stuff, not only off the coast of U.S. subs and, you know, Russia waters, we know that, but it's subs on both sides, okay, coast and Babylon the Great, and that's been proven, and brothers have brought that out, did articles on that since last year and the year before. Okay, they had stuff down in Miami, okay, subs down in Miami, and you have these Poseidon P-28, I believe, for 38 Poseidon aircraft that detect subs. Okay, they've been flying off the coast, the East Coast and the West Coast here lately. Okay, so we know the subs are here, all right, but you know, the devil knows the devil. Okay, so the name written on her forehead was a mystery. Okay, Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and the abomination of the earth. Right, mother of prostitutes, and that's literally and figuratively speaking. Okay, this society, Babylon the Great, America, has showed women how to become prostitutes. Okay, to the best of their ability, how to get everything they can out of a man. Okay, and use their bodies, okay, as sex symbols, okay, or as power or leverage over a man in some type of way. Okay, and these other nations, these other women in other nations are trying to pick it up or have picked it up, depending on where you say the shit landed at, okay, so to speak. Okay, so she is the mother of prostitutes. This is a prostituting whore. Okay, she will cut any deal, okay, get in bed with any leader in order to benefit herself. Okay, and once she has used that leader or cut that deal and it does not benefit her anymore, she will move on to the next. Okay, that's what a prostitute does. Okay, get what they could get, okay, by selling their body, okay, by making everything that looks like gold glitter, and then once a sucker takes the bait, then she's all to the next. All right, so in the abominations of the earth, okay, the gays, okay, the LGBTQ, the bisexual, all that stuff, the transvestites, the transgender, the surgeries, okay, this place is leading that, okay, same-sex marriages and all that kind of crazy stuff. In the military, gays and different things. All right, so this Babylon the Great, this abomination, women literally and figuratively wearing the pants around this bitch. All right, this is America has pushed this off on the rest of the world. All right, so Revelation 17:6, I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of Yahweh's holy people. Right, okay, and that's the house of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans that are here. Okay, because it was prophesied that we will all be in this captivity, okay, together, okay, particularly in Babylon the Great. All right, all the tribes. Okay, so you know, she's been killing these tribes, especially the southern tribes, shooting them down. That's you so-called African Americans and whatnot. Okay, and now she's rounding up, okay, the northern tribe, okay, and allegedly throwing them out of planes and whatnot, and imprisoning them into death camps, okay, FEMA and different type of government agency death camps. Okay, so the blood is she is drunk with the blood of Yahweh's people. Okay, and for generations, okay, it's been like that. Okay, I saw that woman was drunk with the blood of Yahweh's holy people, the blood of those who bore testimony to Yahushua. Right, the remnant. Okay, the men of the Lord, the servants of the Lord, have done this work and have passed away in this filthy place, this hellhole that you know, we call Babylon the Great. Okay, there's blood on this place's hands. Okay, on this whore's hands. All right. When I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and of the beast she rides, right? Which has the 7 heads and 10 horns. That's the EU, Europe, okay? Western Europe, okay? The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to its destruction, right? So that's Europe, the abyss, okay? And it's gonna, Europe is gonna ultimately be what? Destroyed by what, okay? Missiles, okay, from Russia, okay, to, and, you know, taking over because it's in bed with who? Babylon the Great, UK, all right? So the destruction of Europe is happening. You see it happening now, okay? All right. Well, you see it happening now because the 2 British officials and MI6 official got captured by Russia, okay? See, and Russia's already, they definitely ready to nuke UK, Great Britain, or Britain, okay, United Kingdom, because they said that their missiles will get there quick, like in 15 minutes if they launch, all right? So you know that that devil has, that devil has subs over there as well, too, you know? So he's ready, okay? Esau is ready. The Russian Edomites, all right? All right, so, okay. The inhabitants of the earth whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, it yet will come, right? All right. So a lot of people are now just finally getting or trying to understand who the beast is, okay, and these dark sands, okay. But a lot of people are still gonna, like, they're gonna be shocked, okay, that Europe is gonna be dragged into this shit with the whore, okay, and the whore in Europe are gonna, the whore and the beast are gonna turn on each other, okay. This calls for a mind with wisdom, right? And the old way you get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay, is through these scriptures, okay, by supping with Yahweh, okay, and Yahweh Shah, by you know, reading the scriptures, understanding, getting these breakdowns and different things from Great Millstone, starting from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone all the way down, okay? Very imperative, okay? This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits, right? The 7 hills, so there's different governments, okay, that this woman sits. She's manipulated. Now, we know the UK is the financial arm, the DC, Washington DC is the military arm of the beast, okay, and then we got the Vatican is the religious arm, okay, so we got different arms, okay, or different heads of the beast, okay, doing different things, okay, all right, okay, and they'll say, all right, which are the women she sits on, they are all also 7 kings, 5 have fallen, 1 is the other, has not yet come, but when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. The beast who once was and now is not, is an 8th king. He belonged to the 7th and is going to his destruction, right? Okay. So the 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast. All right. They have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast, okay? They will wage war against the Lamb, right? All right, so they're gonna eventually team up and wage war against Yahushua when he comes with the angels, okay? And the chariots, all right? That's their plan, okay? But the Lamb will triumph over them, right? See? So it's already written, the victory. That's what I said, we already got the victory. Okay, Yahushua, our big brother, he already has the victory over Europe, okay, and Babylon the Great, all right? And these, in the Middle East, all right? But the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings, right? Alpha and Omega, beginning and end, Yahushua, okay? Lord of Lords, King of Kings. That's him, all right? He's coming to take these crowns, okay, from these other leaders, these rulers, okay? Well, he's going to destroy their kingdoms, destroy their nations, so to speak, okay? Physically, okay? That's what he's coming to do. And with him will be his, and with him will be his called, chosen and faithful followers. Right. That's the 144. That's the remnant, okay? They're going to be with him to help him what? Take this kingdom down, okay? Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the world, that is the world that beginning to follow it, okay? So, roughly paraphrasing, okay? So look, he is called, so the men that are called and that are chosen, because many are called, but few are chosen, okay? And the faithful followers of Yahweh are going to be with him, meet up with him and take this place down, right? Take the beast and the whore down. That's what it's about, okay? To establish what? The house of Israel's kingdom, right? That's you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. Right, and that's what I said. This bitch sits on many waters. You can look at it like, okay, the territories that, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, okay? She got bases everywhere, okay? She sits on many waters, bases all throughout the world, okay? On basically every goddamn island or continent, all right? Some type of military base, okay? So this whore sits on many waters, right? That's what it says, sits, okay? The waters you saw where the prostitute sits are people, multitudes, nations, and languages, right? South Korea, okay? Japan, okay? Taiwan, okay? Where else? Australia, okay? Philippines, all right? Where's that? Where they had those bombers that, what's that? San Garcia Islands or something? They did the fake out with the bombers and shit. That was supposed to do the first attack on Iran out in the Indian Ocean. Okay, see? So this devil is everywhere, right? The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute, right? They're going to hate the prostitute, right? They're going to turn their back. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a breakdown of direction, a breakdown of communication between the beast and the whore. We're seeing things get sloppy. Okay, the Russians just went in and did what? A precision raid, a lightning raid, and captured, okay, the beast, okay? Some of the beast's men, all right? Or the beast's tail, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. Okay, high-ranking officials, they're going to get information out of them, okay? And they're going to use that against the beast and the whore, okay? They will bring her to ruin, okay? And leave her naked, right? So the European Union, the EU, is going to turn on this Babylon the Great, okay? This whore, okay? They're going to turn on this country, all right? And what does it say? They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked, okay? And that's what we're seeing with these different trade, now these tariffs and shit that's going out, okay? They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire, right? They're going to shoot the nukes at this place, all right? They also going to get involved and shoot nukes on this motherfucker, okay? Because she's been in bed with too many people. She's told too many lies. She's manipulated too many nations, okay? She's cut deals with too many nations, okay? Too many kings of the earth, okay? So because of that, she's sleeping around. She's going to be what? Punished. And that's what happens figuratively and literally to a woman that sleeps around on her husband. Okay, she sleeps around, she gets judged, she gets a disease. Okay, Yahweh sees that and he punishes that whore, all right? That prostitute, all right? And that's what, that's what we did, okay? The house of Israel did to Yahweh, okay? We slept around, we fornicated with different beliefs, okay? Different gods, okay? Different philosophies, different heathen, okay? Instead of sticking with our power, our main man, our main husband, Yahweh, okay? And then he had to send Yahweh to be the intercessor, to get us back on track, okay? So I truly understand where the metaphor for the women, the prostitutes, the husbandmen, Yahweh backsliding daughters, okay? Okay, this is why we have problems with our women. I'm talking about the southern northern tribe, okay, Israelites. We are on the curses and have problems with our women because we went off on Yahweh, okay? We started it. We didn't fulfill agreements. We didn't fulfill the contract. We didn't do things that were delightful in the sight of the Heavenly Father, okay? And we didn't do what He told us to do, okay? We went off. And speaking first foremost to myself, okay, the men are the leaders, okay? So this is why our women now have power over us, and this is why they act the way they do to us, okay? Because we're supposed to be no better. We're supposed to be the stewards of the earth, or the supervisors of the earth, and we got in bed with the low class, low help, you know, and we left our power and didn't listen to our power. So we have been on punishment, okay, for these couple of captivities, 7 captivities, okay, and it's gotten worse and worse, and this is by far the worst captivity, but it's about to be over with pretty soon, right? All right. For Yahweh has put it into their hearts, okay, to accomplish His purpose by agreeing to hand over to the beast their royal authority, okay? Right. So He put it hard in their hearts for them to put it in their hearts to accomplish His purpose, right? And that's the destruction of the heathen. That's the destruction of Babylon the Great. That's the destruction of the EU, okay? That's the destruction of Esau and Amalek, bringing them down, right? That's what He wants, okay? And to hand over the beasts their royal authority until God's words are fulfilled, right? Okay, and that's what's happening. They're gonna have to hand over that power, okay? The saints are gonna take the kingdom, okay? I just read you that Yahushua is gonna they're gonna make war with Yahushua, and He's gonna punish them, okay? He's gonna win the war, and Yahushua is gonna do it with His chosen, faithful, and called men. It's called, chosen, and faithful few men. All right, that's the 144. That's going to help what? Yahushua take over, okay, the kingdom or the earth, okay, and righteousness. All right, so it's going to be righteous indignation. Okay, the women you saw is the great city, okay, that rules over the kings of the earth. Right, the woman, okay, Babylon the Great, America, okay, and she's great cities. You got these great cities all over this place. It's the walled city, okay. You can go into this city, fly into that city, everywhere. Do what you want to do when you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? All right. That rules over the kings of the earth. Right. Washington D.C. makes the laws and statutes, okay, for all, basically all of these other nations throughout the earth. Okay, what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. Okay, that's the enforcement arm. Okay, so you know. So I just wanted to bring that out, man. This whore is going down. We're seeing it more and more, okay? And I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm excited about it. We just got to hold on just a little bit longer. I know I'm speaking to myself, of course, first and foremost. As a man, I want my power back, okay? And I want to but in order to get my power back, I have to get close with my power, the source of my power. It doesn't you're not just going to get power. You're not just going to get power from a source, okay, without having to put some work in or doing something in order to harness that power, okay? And our power is Yahweh, okay, Yahushua. So we have to, you know, service the Lord, men of the Lord. It's our job to get close with our power, okay? So we can understand where we went wrong at, so we can meditate on that, improve upon that, understand that we got to get our mind right, then we'll get the power, the physical, okay? And it all starts in the mind, okay? Because Yahushua are not going to give out power to men that don't understand where they went wrong at, okay? In history, and you know, just in general, and spiritually where we went wrong, and physically, okay? So it's part of being accountable, okay, in order to get the power back, okay? And Esau doesn't want to relinquish his power, okay? He wants to hold on to his power. He wants to, he doesn't want to give it up. He's a sore loser. We all know that. He's a child. He's very impatient. Okay, as far as like how Jacob, he sold his birthright. Okay, he's very impatient just for some meat and some beans. All right, because he couldn't wait. All right, and we don't want to be Esau spiritually. We don't want to be in that spirit. We want to be in that spirit of being patient, being steadfast, being diligent, being circumspect, being watchmen, and being alert to what's going on, especially in these times. Okay, because these are what perilous times that we're in. All right. So it's very, very imperative that we just hold on to what we have. I know I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. I have very little to nothing in this world, and I understand that's okay, because it makes it easier to part with everything and everybody, okay, moving forward as things wind down and this place crashes out, okay. So no attachments per se, so that's going to make things a lot easier for me and to move, to go where I need to go and do what I need to do, because I don't have any attachments per se, okay. Speaking to myself first and foremost, and that's what it's going to be about. All right, we're going to be moving around, probably different men going to be going through different things, but we also know through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Yahweh is going to be what? He's going to be with us, right? Right. He's going to be with us in these times, and making sure that we hold fast. All right, we hold steady to what we have. All right, and that's good, having the spirit, that spirit of seeing things through, right? So okay, so I'm gonna read this real quick. All right, so this is Revelation 17 and 4. Okay. Then I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins." Right. So that's what we're supposed to be doing, okay? As men, in order to get our power back, we gotta come out of this place and not literally get a plane ticket and fly out, but spiritually, okay, and mentally come out of this place, okay? Babylon the Great, all right? And the remnant, the men of the Lord, the service of the Lord, starting with the true apostles, the elders, the great millstone, GMS, all the way down, okay? Men likewise, okay, they're gonna take heed and hear that voice and recognize that voice and understand what that voice is saying, okay? The 2/3 of the heathens, though, all right? Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues, right? So we don't want to receive any of her plagues, okay? Especially Israelites, okay? We know these heathens are going to get it, okay? But 2/3 have been warned. There's no excuses. He's telling you what? To come out of this place, okay? We read to you what's about to happen. The Yahushua already has the victory, but, still, the more people that Yahweh and Yahushua can save by them using the prophets to bring this message out, okay, to edify, to be out there on the highways and byways and on the information superhighway, which is the internet, the more people that can be saved, the better, because we know that when one soul repents, okay, the angels rejoice, all right? So that's very imperative and important. So we don't want to receive the plagues of this place, because the plagues, the pestilences are coming, okay? The plagues, the diseases that are popping up. People, young people in their 50s and 40s and 30s, 20s getting cancer, dying quick. Like 6 months after they get diagnosed, they did, okay? That's going on a lot, because the Heavenly Father is tired of this place, and he wants people to come out, okay? Come out of her. But we know these stubborn 2/3, they don't want to do it. That's so-called stubborn southern and northern tribe, blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If you're not getting sick, if he's not hitting you with the plagues that way, He's rounding you up and putting you on these jets, okay, sending you to different death camps and death prisons, okay? All right? That's the Heavenly Father doing that. For her sins are piled up to heaven, right? Who sinned? Babylon the Great, her, the whore, okay? We just read you the whore and the beast, okay? And Yahweh has remembered her crimes, right? Her crimes that she committed against the house of Israel, okay? All the blood, her cup is filled with the blood of the Israelites, okay? The saints, okay? The house of Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, okay? So that is a big problem, okay? And Yahweh has remembered, okay? You know, you got some of these Jake that want to take Esau into the kingdom, okay? Or these other heathen nations into the kingdom with them. Then you got some Edomites, some Jakes that are like, that's the past. We ain't worried about that. We just want to move forward. No, man. No, that's not how stuff is done. No, man. This place got to go out. This place was established with violence. It's going to go out violently. You know what I'm saying? Okay? This place didn't gain its riches righteously. It gained its riches at the expense of others and the blood of the saints. Okay? The blood of the Israelites. Okay? And these other nations. Okay? So no, this place is not going to be forgotten about what it is done, right? Okay, so that's what the Heavenly Father is going to do, all right? He's going to what? Bring judgment upon this place, okay, in these times, okay? And what else is he doing? He's coming out, okay? He said, come out of her, my people, so that you may not share in what? The sins of the place, okay? So that you will not receive any of her plagues, okay? Pestilences and diseases, okay? That's what he wants, okay? And for her sins are piled up to heaven, right? And Yahweh has remembered her crimes, right? So he's remembering everything this place has done to his people, okay, to other heathen nations, to other people around the world, okay? He has remembered that. Everybody else can say, man can say, okay, he has forgotten, okay? But we know ultimately through the spirit and power of Yahweh, he hasn't forgotten, all right? He just said he hasn't. He remembered, all right? All right, so it says, okay, give back to her as she has given. See, give back to her as she's given, okay? She put that, this place, America, the whore has put out all types of abominations, all types of filth, all types of lies and murderous intent, okay? So it says, give back to her as she has given. Pay her back double for what she has done, okay? So this place is going to get double the ammunition hit on it, dropping bombs on different countries in the Middle East throughout different decades and times. We're dropping bombs on its own citizens, okay? The Israelites and Tulsa, Oklahoma, different things like that, okay? Dropping bombs on Ammonites, okay? That's you Japanese, okay? Hiroshima, Nagasaki, okay? So this place is going to get hit double all these bombs and different things. Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, okay? Even Africa, okay? Over there destroying what? Those Hamites and the Israelite nations, okay? So he's going to what? Okay? Pour her a double portion from her own cup, okay? So what? She's going to get a taste of her own medicine, okay? See, that's what the Heavenly Father is saying. She's going to get a taste of her own medicine, and that's good, okay? That's what this place needs. I told you it was established on violence, it was sustained on violence and thievery, and now it's going to be brought down on violence, okay? Right, okay? Give her as much torment and grief as in the glory and luxury she gave herself, right? So she, this whore America loved to put destruction, death on other nations. You even have video of gunships, which are helicopters and an army over in the Middle East with night vision looking at certain individuals that weren't militants or combatants or didn't have any weapons, and they were shooting them up. That came out like a couple of years, like maybe in 2015 or 2010 or something. They had certain guys that they were claiming were insurgents, and they could just see these guys being Ishmael being a pervert with animals and stuff like that, bestiality with animals, and Esau was shooting them up. He was shooting them up with the helicopters, with the little guns on the helicopters, and lighting them boys up. Okay, so stupid stuff like that. All right, just craziness. All right, so that's torment. Give her as much torment and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. And they were laughing and everything. Okay, so they put that grief and torment on other nations, other peoples, other lands, okay, other languages. Okay, they enjoyed it. Esau and Amalek enjoyed that. Okay, but now Yahweh is saying we're gonna flip that. Okay, Yahweh is saying he's gonna flip that, and what he wants that to happen to this place. Okay, they gonna bring the drama here. All right, it needs to be. All right, that's what's good. Okay, in her heart she boasts. Okay, yeah, she proud, happy. Okay, letting everybody know. All right, in her heart she boasts. I sit enthroned as a queen. Okay, I am not a widow. Okay, I will never mourn. Right, and that's what. Remember that heat exchange that Zelensky had with Trump, whether it was fake or staged or real. He was like, you all haven't felt, okay, through the spirit of power Yahweh. He said, you all haven't felt, but you're going to feel it real soon. Right, because he was saying because the water, she's surrounded by many waters. Okay, she lives deliciously off other nations. They haven't felt no pain. But we know through the spirit of power, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, when we heard that, okay, we understood what that meant, that this place was gonna feel the pain. And Trump was like, no, we're not gonna feel anything. We're not gonna feel anything, okay? We're not gonna feel anything, right? So, what is that? Yeah, she boasts and black. Therefore, in one day, her plagues will overtake her, right? Death, mourning, and famine, right? One day, all right? So that's judgment day, all right? And it's rapidly upon us, okay? We're in the last days right now. Judgment day is coming forward, okay? Straight forward, all right? That's the last day. Therefore, in one day, her plagues will overtake her, death, mourning, and famine, all right? She will be consumed by fire, for mighty is Yahweh who judges her, right? She will be consumed by what? The nuclear fire. This is going to be the lake of fire, okay? Right now, Yahweh is destroying this place with different weather anomalies, different things like that. He's making it hot, okay? But he's going to turn up the heat even more with those nukes, okay? And this bitch is going to burn, all right? And then the beast is going to turn on this whore and be shooting this bitch too, plus the enemies, okay? Russia and all these other places. So it's going to be a lot of death, a lot of famine here, okay? For the survivors, okay? For the people that survived the initial blast, okay? They're going to be faced with plagues and famine, all right? So, but we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, the remnant, the 1/3, okay, the elect will be saved, will be covered, will be taken care of, okay? Because what? They're going to go up into the chariots, okay, for a short moment and then come back down. Everything is already written in the scriptures how this thing plays out. We just got to, go through the motions of the play, all right? And that's what, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost as a man. That's what I'm dealing with right now. Just going through the emotions. I know what I have to do. I know when Satan's attacking me. I know when to back off. I know when to press forward. I know when to fast. I'm fasting now. And I know when to, pray, okay? And fasting and praying is very imperative. And sometimes I just want to, put that in there because I don't think a lot of brothers fast. I did video of fasting. I explained about it. I broke it down. I know some other brothers that are in GMS. They explain that, okay, fasting and how important it is. But it's very important and very imperative to fast because that's how you get things done. You get counsel with the Lord very quickly, and you get results or issues that you may be going through answered in a prompt manner. Is by fasting, okay? Fasting is not only just good for your body physically, especially with all this defiled food that we consume. But it's also good to get things done spiritually, and things you have and questions and stuff and everything. Like I get, I got my dreams and stuff. Finally I wasn't dreaming. Got to see an angel. You know what I'm saying? And have a conversation with him for a whole hour. I got the videos up. It's very, that's a very strong tool in your spiritual arsenal. Is fasting, okay? And like I said, I'm doing it now, right? I'm just doing a 1 day fast, but this is multiple times. I did like fast just at the end of the week before last, I believe. Okay, 3 day fast, dry. All right. So right now I'm doing a fast, and I'm just doing a wet 1 day, fast. No, nothing too big or nothing, but it's important to fast and pray right now in these times, because you got to stay safe. And the only way you can stay safe in these times is by supping and praying and taking counsel with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, okay, in these times. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. It works, okay? It works. Okay, so, this damn devil, man, he's up out of there, right? Hold on. Alright, so the final, okay, I'm gonna read Revelations 18 and 21. Alright, then a mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a large millstone and threw it into the sea and said, with such violence, the great city of Babylon will be thrown down, never to be found again. Right. So it's not going to be no more America after this, ever. All right. It's going to be thrown down, okay? Thrown down, all right? Destroyed, ultimately, and utterly destroyed off the face of the earth. And that's what needs to happen at this point. So this place is a filth bag. It's too much confusion. It's too much. Too many women are everywhere and running around and making things worse. Okay, so this place has to be brought to its knees. The music of the harpists and musicians, pipers and trumpeters will never be heard in you again. Right. All these celebrities, you see them running out of money, not making music, no new jams, none of that shit coming on the radio. All you hear them is playing old ass shit from like 2020 and all on later. All right. Okay, so they're not making music in this place no more. Never to be heard again. No worker of any trade will ever be found in you again. Right, and you see the jobs report for July just came out that basically ain't nobody getting hired. Ain't no jobs being added to the economy. As nobody's working, okay? So, all these black women are out of a job too, all right? And there's more to come. So this place is going down, okay? The sound of a millstone will never be heard in you again, right? The light of a lamp will never shine in you again, right? The voice of bridegroom and bride will never be heard in you again, right? Because he's going to destroy this place, okay? People will be trying to get married. People will be trying to mirth, okay? People will be trying to work. Nah, never again for me. Never again. Never again. That's it. Lord is taking all this shit away. Your merchants were the world's important people, right? By your magic spell, all the nations were led astray. Right, the merchants, these ports coming to Babylon, remember the ports getting hacked and they having port strikes. Okay, these men around the world make their money off what? Exporting and importing to who? Babylon the Great, all right? Really importing, all right? Because this place doesn't export nothing but death, destruction, mayhem, chaos, confusion, okay? By your magic spell, all the nations were led astray. All the nations have been led astray because of Babylon the Great, because of America, okay? All right? And, they are starting to understand it now. They're starting to see that they have been led astray. They're starting to feel it, okay? And that's why everybody is posturing now in a defensive position, okay? Not only to their neighbors, the other nations' neighbors, but also to Babylon the Great. Okay, because they see that they have been had. They see that they have been fooled. They seen that they have been taken for a ride. They have been sold a pipe dream, right? Okay. In her was found the blood of prophets and of Yahweh's holy people, right? Like I said, the men that do the work out here sighing and crying daily on the highways and byways, on the information superhighway, okay? And then regular Israelites, okay? The house of Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? The blood is on this land of these people, okay? Yahweh's people, his prophets. It's blood on this land, okay? And so, you know, the only way that can satisfy Yahweh is by destroying this place, all right? Of all the people who have been slaughtered on earth. So in her was found the blood of prophets and of Yahweh's holy people, of all who have been slain, slaughtered on earth, right? So all the nations are here. This is a melting pot of nations, okay? So all the tribes, all the heathens, all the Israelites have been here or are here at one point and have shed blood, have been put to death by you Amalek, okay, and you Edomites, okay? Some type of way, whether it's in your court system, financially, suicides, okay, random murders, robbery, thievery, mistaken identity, military, okay, some of these guys join, okay? So the blood, it has been poured out, okay, and now it's time for Yahweh. Now he's going to react. He's going to do something about it, right? He's going to do something about it, okay, in these times, okay? And that's what, you know, oh shit, that's what we're you know, waiting for. That's what's happening. This place is slowing down, okay? These women feel the pressure. You're starting to see more and more dreams, okay? People are having more and more dreams about this place. So, you know, it's coming out, all right? It's coming out. And, you know, Yahweh Shah is on his way, okay? Yahweh Shah is basically on his way, all right? And people can see him, okay? This fall is going to be crazy. This winter is going to be crazy, you know? But, you know, as men of the Lord, servants of the Lord, we're going to what? Stay strong, okay? Be steadfast, be, like I said, circumspect. Make sure that we're alert, being watchmen, okay? Because so much stuff is going on. So much stuff is changing right now, okay? And it's a good change, but it's going to be a turbulent transition, all right? And that's what we know, all right? We know that, all right? Because it's in the scriptures, okay? Yahweh has prepared his men, okay, to accept, explain, expound, and foresee these things, okay? So, you know, you get this information, okay, you could be better prepared, okay? And it's the part of the teachers, okay, service of the Lord, the men of the Lord, and the prophets, to blow that horn, to warn, okay, of the impending destruction, okay, the impending doom that's going to happen. Because we know that wherever Yahweh starts, he's going to, before he destroys anything, he sends somebody out, or people out, or his prophets out, okay, to warn the people. So then there's no excuse, okay? Nobody can say they didn't know, they didn't get the memo, or nothing. Nope. Everybody has a phone. Everybody has a connection to the internet, okay? The internet is a trick bag. The phone and the internet was a 2-for-1 trick bag that Yahweh put the whole world in. So, and then he sent his prophets out last, okay, all throughout all the lands, okay, speaking many different languages, okay, and doing these breakdowns. So nobody can say, oh, I didn't know, I didn't. Then you got translators, okay? You got video translators and people that are able to translate certain things and to close caption. So not even a deaf person can't say they don't know, okay? It's not going to be no excuse for nobody in the day of judgment that's right around the corner for not only Babylon the Great, but for the whole earth, okay? And all the tribes know. Okay, all 17 tribes know. All right. So, this is a very exciting times. Very anxious to get power and whatnot, but I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. I just wanted to be over with so I can move on to the next thing, and that's helping Yahweh Shah bring in the kingdom. So, but things are changing. Things are constantly evolving, and this thing, it's like now militarily, it's always something going out militarily with these nations now. All right, so like I said, anything can happen. Cut the internet. These phones gonna be cut soon. The prophets are gonna be off the street soon, and I'm just happy that I was able to be a part of this at the last day and come into the fold correctly and do the work. I don't have any regrets. I taught my kids, I taught myself. I listened to the elders. Okay, I took notes. Okay, but the Lord was with me with everything. I went to DC. Okay, I went out to Baltimore. Okay, I went to different locations in Maryland. I went down recently to Atlanta. Okay, so my bug out bag is my spiritual bag. Okay, and it's no weapons, no car, no shit. Okay, in my bug out bag. Okay, no extra can or something to eat just in case. None of that. I'm 100% sold and 100% in with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Okay, so just as a man, I'm speaking. I'm happy that I did the work to the best of my ability. I'm not in going out times, and when I could have went out and made money, I didn't do that. I'm glad I didn't do that. I tried to do as much as I could on the Sabbath, okay, and try to do as much as I can with the lunar Sabbaths and different things. So I'm very happy. I can sit here and say that Yahweh Shah cracked them skies tomorrow. I can say that I'm happy about the work and the body of work and the fruit that I produced, grassroots. I did it through the spirit power of Yahweh, okay, for the body. I did my share to add to the bigger body, the overall bigger picture or the overall plan of what Yahweh is trying to accomplish here, okay, right now in these last days. So I'm very happy about it. I'm very confident spiritually, righteously. I'm very comfortable in saying that. And like I said, rags are as filthy, our rags are filthy riches, okay? So no matter how much work we do, we still gonna be trash, we're gonna still be filthy, but we can't never do too much either. So that's a balance, and it took a lot of sacrifice to keep doing the work in different situations that you may find yourself in. It's very hard, very challenging, very taxing and draining mentally, but I know at the end of the day it's gonna be worth it, okay, worth the salvation, because that's what it's about. Salvation in these times, because time is basically ran out now. Okay, these skies could be cracked, or we can go on another lockdown in a couple of weeks, a couple of days. Okay, we got Trump to watch out for August 8th. That's his ultimatum he gave to Russia. They're not taking it. They're taking it as a threat. They saying, we don't give a fuck about August 8th. Come with drama if you want. Okay, we'll be right there to meet you. Okay, so we're going to see what's going to happen August 8th. There's a lot of stuff going on. August 5th time is supposed to speed up. That's Tuesday, I believe. Okay, some more. All right, so Yahweh's working. Then not to mention all the craziness in September. Okay, and times and stuff. Things are going to be going on in September. So, but I'm very happy I got to be a part of, the body of doing the work for the Lord to my best of my ability. And I know if I didn't get to know, I probably got one person, okay, that I could have converted, helped be a believer of the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And that's fine with me. This whole 5 years that I've been doing it, okay, I've been searching since '08. Okay, I'm happy you know, that if I got one person to, you know, do the work or to believe truly and sincerely in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, then that's good, you know. Um, so something is better than nothing. It's always like that, all right? So yeah, I just, you know, wanted to bring that out. You know, Babylon the Great is basically falling down, okay, in these times, and destruction is at hand, you know. So it's very imperative that we know these things and that we study, okay. I'm talking to myself first and foremost, man of the Lord, serve the Lord, okay. So I'm very happy about that, all right. So with that, I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, B'Kah Kodash, this is y&ymission. Shalom.